Nestled between the scenic shores of Lake Geneva and the towering Valaisan peaks, the Saint-Gilles Gulf to Brig railway line follows the Rhône, with its story beginning in the late 1850s. The very first section, connecting Bouvray to Saint-Maurice, was officially put into service on July 14, 1859, by the Compagnie de la Ligne d'Italie. In the following year, the line was further extended from Saint-Maurice all the way to Sion. But why were no rails laid on the few remaining kilometers between Bouvray and Saint-Gilles-Gulf? Originally, at Bouvray, goods were transported across the water by boat, so there was no real economic interest in directly connecting Bouvray to Saint-Gilles-Gulf. This specific link would only come about many years later, at the same time as the growing desire to open the Bouvray-Saint-Gilles-Gulf-Evian line in neighboring France. In 1878, the line finally opened as far as Saint-Gilles-Gulf, then later, in 1886, to Evian, almost 20 years after the main line was first inaugurated. And to fully grasp the extent of this significant delay, just compare the time it took to open the short Bouvray-Saint-Gilles-Gulf link. During that same period, the much longer Sion-Sierre-Brig line, which is several dozen kilometers long, was fully built and operational over a much longer and complex route. And it was at this precise time that a unique nickname appeared, the Tonkin line. The workers saw striking geological similarities with Indochina, then a French colony, where the so-called real Tonkin line existed. By analogy, this small section inherited a distinctive name that is still widely used and firmly rooted in local history even to this day. Importantly, the Saint-Gilles-Gulf to Brig line has been fully operational since 1878. It is one of the major routes built very early in railway history, but at that time it had a significant limitation. It was a single track, just one line between stations, which inevitably restricted traffic capacity. So, from the early 1900s, a major project was launched, the gradual doubling of the line between Saint-Maurice and Brig. This was a very gradual and irregular process that would stretch over more than a century, finally being completed in 2004 with the doubling of the Salgesh, Loic section. That covers infrastructure. On the operation side, the story is just as eventful. The company behind the opening of the line, the Compagnie de la Ligne d'Italie, went bankrupt and was taken over in 1874 by the Compagnie du Simplon shortly thereafter. At the time, the latter did not demonstrate a great deal of creativity with its name, simply taking it from the Simplon Massif, through which the line would connect to Italy at the start of the 20th century. It was the Compagnie du Simplon that successfully finished the entire construction process of the Sion-Brig section in 1878. Today, this long railway history continues in a quieter yet still very meaningful way in another form. Since 2003, regional traffic in Valais has been operated by Region Alpes, a subsidiary of the Swiss Federal Railways, SBB, which is also owned by the Canton of Valais and Transport Martigny et Région. It operates two lines, Martigny-Orsières-Le Chable, here to my left, and Saint-Gilles-Gulf Brig, still known today, and now you know why, as the Tonkin line and the Simplon line.